Hi, my name is Aubreyna Klingsmith, and I will be analyzing the California Freedom to Read Act by discussing the pros and cons of the bill. The California Freedom to Read Act was authored by Al Marasucci and was approved by the governor on September 29, 2024. The Freedom to Read Act requires libraries to include any materials, even the ones that can contain sexual content, if said content ties into race or sexuality in any way. The bill also allows members of these communities to express their objections to any of the materials being displayed, but denies and prohibits banning these materials. Did you know this bill allows librarians to display these books wherever they choose, including the children's sections? It also restricts the librarians from preventing minors from checking these books out without an adult, no matter what age they are. The strongest pro-argument is that the bill will protect the freedom of expression and thought in all libraries in California, whether they be public, private, or a school library. Some people see books with these controversial topics as educational and can help them find their place in the world and who they are as a person in terms of identity and sexuality. A press release from Dave Min, representing Senate District 37, discusses how some people also think that this bill will help the communities of color and LGBTQ that are being silenced to fight back against these book bans. The California Freedom to Read Act helps to keep these books safe from being banned and allows everyone to access to all topics without people having fear of the content being banned. The strongest con argument to the California Freedom to Read Act is that it allows children to view the content that can be inappropriate or too mature for their age without their parents knowing or allowing them to. The bill also allows librarians to display these books wherever they choose, whether it be in the adult section or even in the children's section. There have been many people giving negative feedback to libraries about the content their child is reading. Did you know that Fresno County Supervisor Steve Brandow also found this bill disturbing based on his own experience in one of the public libraries? Brandow received some complaints about the content people's kids are reading and went to look into them to figure out the problem. Capitol reporter Alexei Koseff quotes Brandow saying he left the library in June 2023 horrified by images he believed were too sexually explicit and topics he felt were too mature for young readers. And this was from a graphic Pride Month display in the children's section put together by librarians. The California Freedom to Read Act takes away the right parents have to teach their children what they think is appropriate. By allowing these books to be displayed in children's sections and allowing children to check out these books without an adult's consent. If you are a parent or someone who hopes to be one someday, would you allow your child to read all these topics when you're not around? This picture is of a quote from Brandow on his thoughts of the bill. He states, "We have age limits for movies, we have age limits for alcohol, and it's not unreasonable to have age limits on sexually graphic material." The California Freedom to Read Act has both pros and cons that can have positive and negative effects on libraries and the communities they're in. My opinion stands with the con side of this bill, and I believe that children shouldn't be exposed to these topics at such a young age, and they shouldn't be able to have access to these books, especially the ones with sexual content in them. If a parent allows their child to read about these topics, that's fine, it's their kid. But when a child is given a right to check out these books without the parent's consent, then it becomes an issue. I find it inappropriate and disgusting that librarians are allowed to display these contents anywhere, particularly in a children's section of all places. And overall, I strongly believe the California Freedom to Read Act needs to be repealed or at the very least revised. Here are my references, and thank you for watching my presentation. I hope you enjoyed.